There is a very specific, structural reason why children who learn an instrument at a young age absolutely dominate their peers in reading and math. Most parents think it's because music makes you inherently smarter, but that's not the whole picture. It's actually because music strictly normalizes failure. A child at the piano doesn't break down crying when they hit a wrong note. They just play the measure again. Academic learning must be treated the exact same way. If you can replicate this instrument practice mentality at your kitchen table, you will permanently alter how your child views obstacles. Here are the 3 non-negotiable steps to engineer that exact loop, starting tonight. There is a massive body of research showing that kids who study music outperform those who don't. And as a parent who learned an instrument myself, I know firsthand it has absolutely nothing to do with magic or talent. It is 100% about getting the repetitions in until failure becomes boring. To apply this musical secret to reading and math, we have to look exactly at how we react when our kids make a mistake. If you don't intentionally change your reaction to their errors right now, you are going to raise a child who is terrified of school by the time they hit first grade. Subconsciously, when a preschooler gets a phonics problem wrong and you rush in to comfort them or give them the answer, you are teaching them that failure is a dangerous emotional event. They start viewing challenges as personal flaws instead of puzzles to be solved. You're probably thinking, but I'm supposed to encourage them so they don't give up. However, the absolute worst possible mistake parents make is treating a math error like a scraped knee. When you offer emotional padding for an academic mistake, you accidentally create fragile confidence. You are telling them, you need me to survive this. You have to systematically strip the negative emotion entirely out of getting a problem wrong. When they fail, act like a co-pilot, pointing out an interesting bug on a windshield. Say, oops, that's not it. Let's try another way. We call this the emotional eraser technique. It's exactly like playing a wrong note on the piano. You don't throw a party, you don't cry, you just hit the key again. But simply changing your reaction isn't quite enough to build that unshakable confidence. Because even if you stay perfectly calm, your child still needs an environment designed specifically to let them fail safely. If they spend all day on slick educational iPads that hand them easy points, this entire system collapses. Why? Because cheap wins destroy grit. If they never face genuine friction, they will never develop the mental muscles required to overcome real-world hardship later in life. So, naturally, parents swing the other way and buy massive, boring workbooks, forcing their kids to grind for an hour on the weekend. Therefore, the child hates the work, the parent hates the fighting, and the kid labels themselves as bad at learning. It's a complete disaster. The solution is to tightly control the friction through a concentrated action-failure correction loop. In our household, we use 11T School, which is intentionally designed to maximize these repetitions in the most time-efficient way possible. We don't do an hour of fighting, we do 10 minutes of perfectly calibrated friction. It's like strength training for the brain. Short, intense reps are vastly superior to a long, exhausting marathon. But here is the real secret that flips their internal narrative from "I can't" to "I haven't yet." To solidify that "I am good at learning" identity, you have to redefine what a win actually looks like in your house. If you just celebrate getting a correct answer one time, they haven't actually learned the skill, which means they will forget it and inevitably struggle in class tomorrow. If you let them move on just because they got lucky and guessed the dark answer once, You are building a house on sand. When the real academic pressure hits, those silent learning gaps will crack wide open. This is why true confidence requires the 5-day mastery rule. Inside 11T School, mastery is the only goal. A child is not allowed to move on to the next skill until they can score 100% on a specific concept for 5 days in a row. By demanding this level of repetition, you guarantee the foundation is rock solid. They literally cannot get it wrong anymore. When your child enters school already reading and understanding numbers, they aren't just ahead, they're free. You've secured their foundation to buy back their childhood freedom. You get the pride of raising a top-performing learner who actually has time to play. You become the architect of a child who sees a challenge and thinks, "I've got this." Ready to build that grit engine? Check out the mastery levels at 11tschool.com. To start right now, tonight, don't ask your child what they did at school. Ask them, what did you master today? And watch their identity shift in real time.